Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, y'all. It's a lock. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start my videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to listen to in the morning times, man. I promise y'all, there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I just ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way. That's it, man. I just want y'all to stay out the way, man. We about to go into 2026. We can't start the year off, man, doing the same maniac stuff we was doing in 2025, man. We got to bring in the new year by changing ourselves. We got to change ourselves, man. If you don't want to go to the place that I'm talking about in these stories, you must change yourself, or you're going to be in prison, man. You're not going to keep getting away with what you thought you was getting away with, man. I'm letting you know now. You have a chance to change your life around and stay out here with your family, man. Majority of the people I'm talking to, you got kids, you got siblings, you got to look after, man. You don't have time to be getting locked up. What happened if you get locked up? You the breadwinner now. What you gonna turn the people you was taking care of into the breadwinner? You gonna have a hard bid, man, by putting that pressure on them, man. You're not gonna be able to do what you was doing for the family. You gotta be out here to do for the family. That's the right thing, and you gotta be out here to do that, man. If you gotta be in jail trying to do that, it's not gonna work, man. So I'm letting you know now. Change your life around, man. It's 2026, man. People, places, and things, man. Change them all up. Change them all up, man. Start over, man. Reset. And let's get to a new life, y'all, by staying out the way. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. It's weekend banger time. So what I need y'all to do with this one, like, share, subscribe to this one. Let's get it. Let's go. What? It's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called Yard Man. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but where we at, people? We are in prison, man. Crazy stuff happens, man, all the time, man. All the time, man. I'm letting you know now, man, you have people in there that run around prison like it's never gonna be consequences for the things they do. You have some people that really think they are just that slick, that they can get away with stuff for as long as like they want to, man. This goes back to what I was saying and trying to get y'all to stay out of prison. Like, you're not gonna get away with it forever, man, regardless of where you at or what you're doing. If you're doing something wrong, it's always gonna come back and bite you. That's just life. That's just how this thing called karma works, man. It's gonna come back around, man. So you gotta be careful with what you're doing, especially when you're locked up in penitentiary, man. You can't be doing a little sideways stuff, trying to beat people and do all that stuff. It's gonna come back and you're gonna pay for it in the worst way. So with that being said, though, we are on Susses 2 for this one, y'all. We are on Susses 2. And I can remember being in 2C, man. This around the time we just got up there. Like, everything is just starting to move regular now. We moving regular because we getting wrecked. We was just locked down forever, man. So it's like we at a point now where it's like we finally being able to get out these doors. Like, they moved us to another building, which when we started, we was in 4 building. But after they got all the DC inmates moved out, they moved us to 2C, where I started my bid on Susses 2 at, man. And when we got to 2C, we was still locked down. We was still locked down probably for like another 2-3 weeks. Like, they'll let us get a little shower, a little bit more phone calls and stuff that we was doing more than when we was in 4 building. But like, for the most part, we was still behind the door. So when they finally let us out, man, it was time to us finally come out. Everybody just was trying to get used to moving around. You're seeing different faces, but this is prison. You're going to see different faces. So it was different faces all over the place. It was a lot of stuff going on. So after a while of me being in 2C, probably for like the first 3 months, 4 months of us being out, man, it was just a lot going on, man. I was still a young dude, still trying to learn and see what's going on with different things, man. And that's all I really wanted to do. Now, while I was in there, man, like from the beginning, man, they brought a whole bunch of new dudes into the pod from different compounds. Now, a lot of these dudes from different compounds that they brought, man, like a lot of them was dudes that's been locked up for a while now, man. So, you know, like, the majority of the people that I came up there with, it's probably people that been to penitentiary before out the batch, but majority of everybody that was coming there was kind of their first time. It's like it was my first time. So like, you know, we had slightly a lot of dudes that we wasn't green, but we was just new to a lot of the stuff that was happening in the penitentiary. So it was this one old dude, man. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say where he from, but we going to call him Yard Man, man. And that's what we used to call him. Real talk like that. Like his name was Yard Man, man. It was a few dudes on Sussex 2 that they used to call Yard Man. Yo, what Yard Man? It was a few of those dudes because once you had that job, you took on a job of kind of like trying to be somebody that helps other inmates do stuff. Or you're going to have inmates mad at you for not trying to help them, man. And I say that, man, because if you got a job on a yard, like you got to be willing to move stuff. You got to be willing to pass kites. You got to be willing to kind of like come back and tell somebody a message. You got to be willing to do these things or people are going to look at you crazy. Now, the dude that I'm talking about, Yard Man, he was an older dude. He was already an old dude, bald head dude, short dude. Ain't really look like he wanted no problems, but you can just tell he been down for a little second. He was down way longer than us. So when he got in the block, after we was in the block, he moved in from another spot. So by the time they let us all out, he was in there with us though. But when we came out finally and started moving around, he was already hip to what he needed to do, what he got to go to, who he got to go talk to, who he got to say something to, and he got a job like that immediately. Now, the job that he got immediately was working on the yard. So he's working on the yard, and for real, it felt good of us having a guy in our block that works on the yard. That was a major benefit. So it was all good to the people that was in the block. But from the time from 2C in the early stages of watching Yard Man, that was his job. Like he was the type of dude, like he made it like a job within a job, because it came to the point where if you got to get something from A to Z, like you have to grease his beat, pause. Like you got to give him something, basically. Like you got to do something. And like that's another job, basically, because there'd be so many people trying to pass things. Like the passing game was out of control. Like you have to, hey, get it over here, get it over here. You got to do that. You got to go through people. You got to be able to have somebody to move these things. Usually it's the Yard Man. So he was the number one Yard Man, man. He was the number one. This one we still had burgundies, man. He was be out there. He had the biggest scrubs in America. Like he was probably about 5'8", but his scrubs was like a 2X, and they was just huge. They used to cover his boots, and that's all you could see was like the tip of his boots, and he had the tip of his boots kind of buff. It looked like he buffed the tip of his steak boots in because they was super shiny at the tips. So he had them junk shiny, and that's all you used to see, kind of like with his pants covering the whole boot. He had a big shirt on. He used to be on the yard. He keep the trash bag in his back pocket. He keep the toothpick in his mouth. You know what I mean? Bald head, always clean. He was moving around. That's what he used to do. So making a job within a job is what I seen Yard Man do, because it was times like this. They used to be like, yo, dude in 4 building, they got the la-la. So we like, man, we trying to everybody, it got to be a play like this. This is the beginning. So sometimes it was plays like this. Everybody like, yo, they said, dude got it, man. So you trying to get something, put your money in. Like, yo, how much he charging? Like, yo, he charging $8 a stick. So dudes like, yo, put your money in the bag. I want to make sure. So dudes would just put it together. So like, it'll be one whole play being made because the stuff is not in our pod or our building. So who we used to get to run that play? Yard Man would have to be the one to run that play, because we would have to send Yard Man with the stuff before we even go outside the wreck. So he would have to sneak all that stuff out, which was a hard job. But with him being who he was, he had everything under control. Like, you know, he wasn't the police. That's what I can say about him. Like, he definitely really tried to help. But with him trying to really help, he was getting a cut out the deal. So like I told y'all, he had a job within a job. So when we needed him, you know what I mean? And we came and told him what was the play. And the dude that was making the play with the la-la and came and he told, I was right there when he told y'all, man, he like, yo, look, I gotta look. I'm trying to get this. Look, everybody put their money in. Y'all, man, was like, look, one of y'all gotta buy me 2 sticks. I'm gonna make the play, but y'all gotta buy me 2 sticks. So the dude that's making the play, he felt like he was obligated to put that extra $16 in the pot, because he was the one that got all us, like, that's going in the joint. So I was gonna put an extra couple dollars. That's all people had to do was put an extra couple dollars to be able to buy 2 more extra sticks, man. But long story short, we got the bread and we sent Yard Man on his way. So Yard Man will always come back, and when he come back, like his playoff game used to be nuts, because he can come upstairs and back to the pod whenever he wanted to. Like, it was like that. You might see him when we going to chow. He might be on the yard. Like, you will see him all the time on the yard. So, like, when he wanted to do what he wanted to do, he would do it and be able to come right back to the pod. So he'll come back in the pod And he'll see dudes, he'll be like, hey, he'll hit everybody off, you know what I mean? And throw everybody stuff. He never was on no bootleg stuff. So like he was used to running those plays. Like I was used to yard man running those plays. I ain't even gonna lie. He used to do a good job of running plays for us on the yard. So boom. Fast forward the tape a little bit, man. Now it's probably like 2 years later game. Now I'm not in 2C. Now I am in 4C. Now I'm in 4C on this one, y'all. We in 4C. And while I'm over there, I'm at the point now kind of like, well, I done got a taste and a shot of getting that la-la. So now I'm addicted to getting the la-la. Like I'm just getting out the hole for a dirty yawn. Y'all know I go to the hole for a majority of the times for the dirty yawn game. Now I'm back in 4C. Now I'm in 4C for the first time. And it's like, for real, I need more la-la. So it's like, it was a lot of stuff going on in the joint. So since the whole time I've been in the hole and now I done got out and I'm in 4C, the dude Yard Man still got his gig. I seen Yard Man when I was getting out the hole. Like he was outside I got out the hole like 6:30. It was one of them days where it get dark early. So at 6:30 it was already dark. So when I'm coming out of 3 building, he right there by the trash can. I seen him, I'm like, he like, oh, T Weezy. That's how his voice used to be. Oh, T Weezy, what's up? I'm like, what's up, man? He like, same old, out here on this yard. Got the toothpick, he like this, same old, out here in this yard. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. I'm like, yo, so look, the CEO kind of walked out. I was like, who got it? He was like, man, a lot of people got it. What you talking about? You need me to run? You know, you remember how we used to play it? You remember how we used to play it? I said, you still in 2C? He like, yeah. I said, look, tell bro, send me a couple of sticks, man. Throw you one on, man. You know what I mean? Because he was still in the power of a homeboy that was touching. So I'm like, man, tell bro, send you a couple of sticks and give you one on for doing it. He like, I got you. He was like, look, come back out for program. Late tonight, just come to the door. I'll see you. So I'm like, all right. So I get upstairs. I get in 4C. I get straight up at 4C. I come back downstairs when they call program. Shot out that jump. Went downstairs. Yard Man was right there waiting on me. He made the play. You know what I mean? He made the play. So I'm like, man, this jump crazy. So everything was straight. You know what I mean? Like Yard Man was still Yard Man. I'm like, man, I can go to the hole for a couple months, come back out. Yard Man still doing the same old thing, y'all. So boom. So now I'm in 4C trying to move around. Now I'm in 4C trying to get to that bag, trying to do what I do, trying to get to that paper. So the whole time I was in there, man, I kind of struck twice when I was in 4C. The first time I struck, it was a dude that I knew that was going to get the package, and he needed somebody to help him get the joint. Now, he was in 4C, so he went over there and he got the package. You know what I mean? The first time everything went straight. You know what I mean? He came back, it was easy. So when he come back the second time, he come back with the joint again, everything was straight. But this time around when he came back, dudes was saying he was acting reckless on the yard when we went outside for 2 o'clock records. He would go to visit early. So we went outside. Dudes was like, yo, your man outside acting reckless, man. He was serving some dudes over in one building and the police was seeing him and watching him and all of that. So, you know what I mean? So I ain't paying no mind. So bro was in the block. So I still got my jump. You know what I mean? He struck on a Sunday. So like I still got my half a zip. So when Monday roll around on everything, I don't know what happened, man. They called bro to the watch office, man. Bro come back from the watch office and say they made him put his jank in the cup. Bro had to take a test, man. That's word. They gave him a P test, y'all. That's word. So when bro come back, he's sick that he took the P test. But what happened the next day? Bro goes to the hole. Of course, he was dirty. He's going to get the package. Bro was super dirty. But you got to watch how you move. He was one of them dudes that came up here from another spot and he didn't really know how to move. So now I got the half a zip. I'm the only one with the J. So he still had his joint. But before he went to the hole, he came and told me like, yo, bro, listen, man, this pump the joint for me, man. Send my mama this. Just send me something back there sometime, bro. Look, you keep this. Because he really didn't mess with the la-la that much. You know what I mean? He didn't mess with the la-la that much. He used to just like selling it, getting his box right, stuff like that. So I did everything bro said. So I was up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was basically just selling his stuff with my stuff in the cut. So I was chilling for the most part. I was staying out the way and I was chilling, still getting to the money, still making sure I look out for bro. We had the dude that was taking him stuff over in 3 building where he was at in the hole. So everything was copacetic. Everything was going smooth. So through the midst of this, it was another dude in there that I used to rock with, but he was from the op. And I used to kick it with him, cool dude, man. We gonna call him Ralph. But Ralph was alright. Ralph was one of those dudes that was just like me, like touching some work, you know what I mean? Like trying to get some money. He was on the same type of page. So he used to run around doing the same shenanigans that I was doing. But he used to get a lot of the D block. So he ended up having some D block. And once he heard that I was selling the stuff, like, cause I still had my joint to cut. So he pulled up. He was like, yo, Weezy, what's up, Sean? He was like, I'm trying to trade. What's good? I'm like, you trying to trade what? He was like, man, I got some food. I'm trying to trade some dog food. I'm like, you trying to trade some dog? He was like, I just want 2 spoons. He said, just give me something for 2 spoons. I'm going to bless you. I'm like, how you going to bless me? He's like, man, I'm going to give you a half a gram. I was like, a half a gram. Like, it sounded like a crazy, amazing deal. But when those dudes from the R be going over to get to the VI touching, man, them dudes be going over there getting 7 or better. They going to get Michael Vick or better every time they go to the V room and get some D block. They not going to get no pool shot or nothing like that, because a lot of them, I ain't gonna say all of them, a lot of them used to do the D block, which it didn't look bad of doing the D block back then. It didn't look messed up because dudes would do it, still be regular, gambling, balling, getting to the bag. It didn't look messed up back when I was in the system in the beginning, but they didn't go over there and get a little bit of D block. It'll always be a decent amount. So when he told me a half a G, I was like, yo, like, I was like, for real though, I can just put that in the cut too, sell that for a boom. I can send bro mama that. You know what I mean? I was like, I might can get 2. I said, what you think I'm gonna make off that? He said, you might get about 300. You might bag up 300. So I'm like, man. So I start calculating in my head, y'all. Y'all know how I go. He's still over there trying to talk. I'm over there trying like 300 extra dollar. I'm gonna come out to the good. So boom. That's how I was feeling, man. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'll do that for you, bro. I'll do that for you, bro. I was like, look, but I ain't got nothing else like that unless it's bread. I'm letting you know now. He was like, nah, that's all I need. Nah, that's all I need. That's all I need. So I'm like, all right, that's what's up. So I make the play with bro. Everything goes smooth. So now I'm stuck. Not really stuck, but I got the D block now. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, man, it's only been like a day or so. I want to take care of bro mama, make sure that bread is taken care of, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, man, I got to find a play for this job. But I'm like, bro already got the building kind of in the headlock because he got the D block. So it's like it's dudes that owe him. I already been hearing about this dudes that owe him. It's dudes that probably, you know what I mean? Because you got to trust dudes to be able to get some money when it comes to the big stuff like D block and Hardy's Chicken and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, what I'm going to do? So as I'm thinking that, they call outside rec. I go outside rec. As soon as I hit the jump, I run right in the yard, man. Trash bag hanging from his back pocket. He like, what's up, baby? I'm like, what's good? What's good? What's good? He like, hey, look, I got something for you. I need to talk to you. I'm like, talk about what? He was like, man, look, man, I know. I was like, you know what? He was like, I know, Weezy. I said, in the yard, man, what did you talk about? Some dudes like, get on the yard. Why you going on the yard or what? So I'm like, so I go on the fence. We on the court. I go on the fence. So he stay on the outside. He was like, I know, Weezy. I was like, you know what, bro? What the hell is you talking about, y'all, man? He was like, I know you got the Tims. He was super old school. He called Lala Tims. Like, that was another disguised name that people would use back in the early 2000s when they was on the phone. They didn't want to say marijuana or whatever the case. He was like, yeah, I heard you got the Tims. I was like, yeah, how you know that? He was like, cuz I ran a favor for your man and went to the hole. I was on the boulevard when he went to the hole. Yeah, I asked him I was trying to do something. He told me holler at Weezy. I'm like, oh yeah. He was like, yeah. Told me holler at Weezy. So I'm like, all right, so like, what's up? What you talking about? I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, look, matter of fact. I said, yo, look, I got some D block too, bro. He said, you got some of the same stuff that dude in your pod got? Cause he said he ain't had no more like that. I was like, yeah, I got the same joint he got. He was like, you traded up? I said, y'all, man, you asking too much goddamn questions. He was like, all right, well, look. I was just trying to make sure. He was like, well, look, though. He said, it's a dude in my block. He said, it's a white dude, man. He said, look, we got the ball field. You know what I mean? Because y'all, man, y'all man on 2C. He in two building. He was like, yo, it's a white dude in my block. He was like, look, I'm going to get him to come by something, and you got to give it to me to transport. And then I'm going to tap dance on the motherfucker. He did a move like that. I was like, what? He was like, look, I'm going to bring him to the fence. You make the transaction with him, get me to take it to him, then I'm going to tap dance on the motherfucker. Then I'm going to give it to him. I said, you going to tap dance on him? He said, look, you ain't got nothing to do with, once you put it in my hands, I'm responsible. So you ain't going to have nothing to do with the deed. I'm going to do what I do. He said, nephew, this is how I make a living on top of my living. He said, all right, man, I tax and I'll wax. I was like, you a wax? He was like, shit, I'll wax that damn back. Shit, I'm gonna get mine. I said, keep it gangster, y'all, man. You ever hit my shit before when we was in 2 building? He was like, look, that right there, if it don't fit, it must have quit. He hit me with the OJ Simpson. I'm like, what? He was like, if it don't fit, it must have quit. He was one of them dudes that had them dumb punchlines behind everything he say. Everything got to be like a funny punchline. He was like, if it don't fit, it must have quit. I ain't even know how to take that. I'm like, man, what? He was like, don't worry about that. But look, you try to do it because I'm about to go get him to come to the fence. So I'm like, all right, go get him to come to the fence. Then go get him to come to the fence. So I go back and holler at my man, you know what I mean? Kicking it, da, da, da. I go holler at my other homeboy, yard 2, because we right there by the ball field, the first basketball court. Yard 2 is right directly over there. So I'm on this fence now talking to my homeboy over there. So I hear somebody say, hey, where is that? I look, it's yard, man. He right there. I'm like, he get my attention. He like, So I'm like, oh yeah. He like, yeah. So I was like, bro, pop me right quick. I walked to the other corner of the gate, like right there where I can see the ball field. So now I'm right there by the ball field. I'm like, I'm scanning. I'm like, I see the white dude. I'm like, oh. I'm like, what's up? I was like, you? He was like, yeah, kind of tall white dude. He ain't look like he was like no frail looking small little white dude. He was just regular looking white dude. He didn't look like, you know what I mean? Nothing. He just looked regular. So I'm looking at him, and then I look at Yard Man. Yard Man was like, so I'm like, yeah, you holler at Yard Man. He was like, yeah. I said, so look, what you trying to do? He was like, I mean, how much you got? I was like, man, for real. I was like, hold on. I said, I'm gonna get Yard Man to show you what I got. He was like, all right. I was like, hold on. I'm looking in my pocket. I'm like, no, I ain't lose this. I'm like, I dug deeper. You know how it'd be like in the corner top part? I was like, oh, it's right there. I grabbed it. When I grabbed it and looked up, I just seen this big diesel bald head dude standing at the gate with him. Like, and he had like, he was like, the white dude was facing me. The big diesel bald head dude is like, he got like his right arm, shoulder on the fence, but he right by the white dude now. So now this is no more a private conversation. So he like, so I'm like, I see dude, I'm like, white dude was like, yeah, he's good, man. Yeah, man, it's my homeboy Fred right here. I was like, he was like, what's up, youngin? I was like, hey, yo, so look, what's up though, man? I was like, look, matter of fact, hold on. But as I'm walking, you know what I mean? I'm thinking like, who's this guy? So when I get to, I say, y'all man, come here. So y'all man come out, jump. I'm like, yo, look, I'm about to get you to show dude what this is. Make sure you watch him. I said, make sure he don't do nothing. Just show him what it is. I said, but look though, who the hell is this goddamn ironhead Hayward looking ass nigga that he got with him? I say, dude, like the nigga from Life in the damn Face, man, a big nigga. He was like, oh, you talk about Fred. He was like, man. I was like, hold on, man. He's cool. I was like, he don't shake, rattle, and roll. I said, what they shake, rattle, and roll? He was like, no, hell no. Like Fred just hold him down. Like, you know, Fred really rocked with him. He been knowing him for years. The white dude, he been locked up a minute too. Like, so I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I scanned him, you know what I mean? Everything come out straight. So I'm like, all right, look, go watch him, da-da-da-da. So he take the jump. I see him, white dude come to the fence where Yard Man was at. He look at the joint, him and black dude right there still with his shoulder on the fence like this. He look at it like this. When Yard Man get a white dude to jump through the fence, he like, Yard Man standing there like, I told you, baby. Yeah, man, Weezy cool, man, yeah. He was like, all right, put it back in his hand. I see Yard Man making his way back over to me. He come back, he was like, hey, look, he want it all. I'm like, for real? He was like, you think he remember how this piece look? I was like, what? He said, you think he remember how this piece look? I was like, bro, listen, I'm letting you know now, I don't have time for that bullshit because I need my fucking money. He was like, nah, one thing about this white dude, he pay. Fred make sure he pay because Fred get high. He was like, look, they gonna pay. I said, when they gonna pay? He was like, look, they gonna have it by the night. I'm gonna bring you the numbers tomorrow, but give me the stuff. I'm gonna be responsible for it. He said, but look, I got it now. He said, I'm gonna act like I'm handing it to you, but the whole time I'm gonna keep it. Then I'm gonna go back to the cell and I'm gonna tap dance on the motherfucker. I was like, you in this tap dancing shit? I said, bro, listen, keep me out of this shit, man. Sometimes this is the price of a middleman. And I ain't even gonna lie, like I went through a middleman. I used to probably think he was pinching me. But if he was, I mean, what can you do about it? You going through a middleman. Like y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is the price. People know what I'm talking about when you locked up and you gotta go through a middleman. A lot of the time this shit happens, y'all, so boom. So I agreed to the move, man. I went on and told, well, man, to keep the jump. You know what I mean? I said, man, keep the jump, man. You know what I mean? I said, yo, bro, don't forget, I got some la-la too. You know what I mean? He was like, fuck that la-la right now. This shit right here is what matter. He said, you need to get some more of this shit. I was like, what? He said, man, you need to get some more of this shit. Y'all, man, got serious. He was happy. He had his fist balled up like this. Whole time he talking to me, he was like, you need to get some more of this shit. Yeah. I said, man, look. He was like, here, take this back. I was like, I seen the white dude and they was like, it was on it, like, because I guess they trying to figure out what's his final answer. He was like, he was watching, he was like, and then Y'all man was like, here. That nigga hands did a nice dap up. He was like, I promise you, I felt the sack roll on my palm. That joke was like, then I seen Y'all man like, man, you just didn't see it no more. It was in his palm again. He was like, yeah, baby. Yeah, he put that joke in his pocket smooth. He was like, yeah, baby. Yeah. All right, nephew. Hey, look. I'm about to go holler at him. So I'm like, yo, I walk back to the fence. I'm like, yo. He was like, he see y'all man coming. He about to walk. I said, no, come here, bro. He was like, I said, yo, look. I said, just give me the 2 for that jump, man. Just give me 2 cents. I'm cool with that. I said, look, I said, look, y'all man gonna pull up. I said, I'm gonna hold the jumps till you get the bread, man. He was like, I'm gonna have the bread tomorrow. I said, all right. I said, look, well, that right there, I was about to do that. I was about to get that to somebody else. I said, I gotta go make your jump. I'm just trying to cover y'all man ass. Y'all, I'm petty too. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I'm doing business. I'm making sure the business runs smooth. And even though y'all man could be interfering, y'all man gonna bring the plays. I need y'all man. So I'm like, yo, look, that right there go to somebody else. I just wanted you to see what I had. It's gonna be the same stuff, whatever the case. You know what I mean? He was like, it's gonna be the same. I was like, yeah, both of those jumps is half a G. I said, I got more jumps. He was like, all right, man. I said, look, I'm gonna send it to you tonight. I said, I'm gonna catch y'all man tonight, and I'm gonna send it to you. You know what I mean? He was like, all right. He was like, hey, man, can you send me something for $50 too? Some la. I was like, yeah. I said, I'm gonna look out too, man. I said, man, I got you, man, for the 50, man. I got you. I said, I'm gonna throw you 5 of them things. He was like, I appreciate that, man. So I went on and let him know what it is. I told y'all, man, like, yo, look, he gonna give you $250. You know what I mean? I said, make sure everything goes smooth. He was like, I got it, nephew. I do this shit for a living, nephew. I was like, all right, man, do your thing. He slid, y'all. So boom. Play went cool. We go back in the building. I'm happy that I was able to get bro 2 cents for his mama. You know what I mean? But I gotta wait on it till tomorrow. Now, I got a half a zip of Lala in my cell. You know what I mean? I still got the Lala a little bit that my man gave me. I done sold a lot of his stuff, the little Feezy stuff. You know what I mean? And I still got the joints that was made for the big money. And that's mine. And I was thinking about putting that into my half a zip. But I was like, not just yet, because I don't know how this is going to turn out with the yard man and the white dude. You know what I mean? And goddamn Ironhead Haywood. I don't know how this shit was going to turn out. So I was like, look, I'm just going to wait and be patient. So I let everything play out smooth. Everything was straight. Next day roll around. The next day roll around. I see yard man. You know what I mean? Y'all man see me for breakfast. He up early. Oh, y'all man up early. We go to breakfast. I see y'all man. He moving down direction. He see me. He walked past me. He like, he bumped me. I'm like, man, what the hell you doing, man? He like, walk, nigga. Yeah, let me walk with you. He had a nice little pep in his step too. Y'all man was like, nigga, let me walk with you, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Let me walk with you. Nigga, he had the dumbest. I can't even do that. I can't even do that shit. He was like, yeah, nigga, let me walk with you. Yeah, nigga. I'm like, what's up, man? You got that? He was like, nigga, what's up, nigga? Good morning. He went for the dap. I already see the paper in his hand. I was like, I said, good morning, old ass motherfucker. He was like, yeah, I put the shit in my pocket. I was like, it's $250. He was like, yeah, it's one Western Union for $250. I was like, well, look. I said, I'm gonna go in the chow. I said, I got the spoons tucked, bro. I said, I don't even want to pull them out right here on this boulevard. I said, wait till I get in the chow and I sit down. I can go in my other sweatpants. He was like, I wait for you to come out. So I went in there. You know what I mean? I give him the own spades. I gave him the spoons. He like, you told him you gonna have this as soon as I get back. I said, look, man. I told him I was gonna give it to you in the morning. He said, look, I go in the gym and pinch the package. I said, what? He said, when dudes give me the stuff, I tell the CEO, I gotta go get a basketball. Open that damn door in the gym up. Yeah, I tell him straight up, I gotta go get more basketballs. I'm like, damn, you sinister. I said, well, you about to go pinch the package in the gym game? He was like, yeah, I'm about to go pinch this motherfucking package, nigga. More pinch for me. I get to tap dance more in this motherfucker, Wheezy. I said, what you do to that last night? He was like, shit, I ain't gonna lie. I went crazy on that shit, man. He said, when I gave it to him, he didn't say shit. He said him and Fred went in that bitch and they went got high as a motherfucker. He said now they waiting on his weed. I said, man, damn. I said, man, we'll give it to him. He said, man, after I hit these motherfuckers, I got it, nephew. So I gave it to him. So I didn't see the white dude until the 2 o'clock rep. So when we go out for 2 o'clock rep, I'm on the big yard this time. They on yard 1 because they on two building sides. So we get to move around closer to their building. So I see the white dude. And I looked up. I seen the big dude pulling up. He was like, nephew, why you send them little ass spoons?
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.